Good morning, ladies and gents. Thanks for tuning in to another watch list, proudly brought to you by FTX. If you don't have an FTX account, then feel free to use the link in the description below and you'll receive 10% off your trading fees. If you have any questions, please feel free to write them in. I'll do my best to answer them for you. But yeah, let's have a look at Bitcoin. We've seen some further selling off, which was expected. We spoke about this on Tuesday, I think it was, that I didn't believe that we'd quite seen the bottom yet. I thought we'd test this $30,000 mark, which we have. We've even broken below that. So is it a good sign? It's showing a little bit of weakness in Bitcoin, but that's to be expected. There's a lot of uncertainty in the markets at the moment. So yeah, it happens. But yeah, let's have a look at the daily. So the daily, yeah, it looked like we did get a little bit of a rejection off this $30,000 mark. But we did bust down to the $27,700 mark, which is lower than any of these previous tests. So let's just see what happens today. Let's see if the buyers can keep us above that level, which would be a good sign. And if they can't, then yeah, definitely further downside from here. But yeah, we'll just play that as it comes. Ethereum, again, further selling off, which again we expected. We had quite a red day yesterday, and we'll see what happens today. But I wouldn't be surprised if we do come down and test this $17,000 mark where we have before. At the moment, we're kind of just floating in no man's land. So yeah, further selling off wouldn't come as a surprise. On the 4 hour, we don't really have a trend on the 4 hour. We kind of just saw a sell off and then a crab walk and then a sell off. The 1 hour, the trend just is rubbish. We saw this big sell off and then a big buying back in, and then overnight in the American markets we saw further selling off. So we are pulling back into that cradle zone, but the trend just isn't there for me. G'day Bobby, I hope you're well. BAT. Yep, same as everything else, just selling off, but it's the 1 hour for me. I think it's the 1 hour for most of the markets. We were watching the 30-minute this morning, waiting for pullbacks into those cradle zones. We did get the pullback, but not the bearish candles that we're after. So now it's the 1 hour, the next higher time frame. So we do have a bit of a trend. We're pulling back into that cradle zone. So let's just see what happens on this 1 hour time frame. Dash as well, pulling back into that cradle zone nicely. Nice trend leading up to that. MACD looks good as well. DeFi, same thing. Nice trends. It could be a better trend if I'm honest, but it is pulling back into that cradle zone. So a nice bearish candle in there. Same for Dragon Perp. Lovely looking trend leading up. Nice set of lower lows and lower highs. Pulling back into that cradle zone. A bearish candle on this 1 hour time frame is what we're after. Maps as well. Yeah, nice trend. No real levels through here for a pullback too, which would be ideal. But yeah, we are pulling back into that cradle zone. OMG, again, the same. Rose Perp, I do have a level drawn in here. So we've had 2 tests so far. If we do get a third test and a break, I will definitely be open to taking that. You just want to see how overextended it is from these higher time frames, just to adjust your targets, whether you take full profits at 1-to-1, whether you let it run, it's completely up to you or what's in your trading plan. And RSR, again, a little bit of a level through here. I wouldn't be looking for a cradle trade on this because we've tested here. If we do get a pullback and a bearish candle there, it might deter us from getting that 1-to-1 target. But overall, yeah, the market looks, super bearish, which is expected. Morning, Sally. I hope you're well. Yes, I'm going pretty well. Thanks, Bobby. Herman. Is it a good idea to just start buying different currencies since they're dipping and then just sell them when they go back up? I can't short, by the way. Yeah, so you're in America. That's one thing that I did want to talk about is, yeah, buying the dips. It's super important to have a plan leading into bear markets like this and capitulation events, because your plan doesn't get emotional. right? We get emotional. Everyone gets emotional. All traders, investors, we definitely get emotional when it comes to market conditions like this. You see big red days coming in, your portfolio's dropping, but it is super important to have that plan and have prices of where you're looking at buying back into. So on Bitcoin, for example, it wasn't that long ago, a few weeks ago, we're floating around these $40,000 mark. And I remember the community, everyone saying like, yes, this is cheap Bitcoin. This is cheap. $40,000, great. $37,000, yep, that's cheap. Imagine if we hit $30,000. Oh my God, if we hit $30,000, I'm filling my bags. I'm getting a home loan and I'm going to put it on Bitcoin. All these things people were saying. And now guess what? We're here. We're at 30,000. Hell, we're below $30,000. So if you've got a plan, especially for your longer term portfolio holdings, if your plan says to buy Bitcoin at $30,000 because that's the decision that you made with a clear head when the markets were good, then it's time to execute on those plans. Don't let your emotions, your short-term emotions get in the way of making those longer term decisions. That's why it's super important to stick to your plan. Ethereum was the same. People were buying around this area, the $2,500 mark. It's a round number, bit of a support level through there. And you know what? Imagine if we hit $1,700. Well, guess what? We're approaching that, so get ready. It's time to stick to your plan, execute on your plan, and hopefully, fingers crossed, in a few months' time, we will definitely be profiting. Not definitely, but we hope we will be in profit by then. So yeah, there's a lot of fear out there. It's time to stick to those plans, or have those plans, stick to those plans, and just ride it out. This has happened before. We saw it in COVID. Bitcoin dipped down to, I think it was like $3,000. And I remember the same thing happening. People were fearful. People were scared, saying crypto was over, Bitcoin's over. And a lot of people didn't stick to their plan and didn't buy Bitcoin at $3,000. And what do you know? We rallied on from that $3,000 mark up to $44,000. Now that's a massive return. So if you did get choked up, if you did let fear get in the way of your decision making, you didn't capitalize on that big move, well then hopefully you learn from that mistake and you don't do it again. Hey Bob, basically, don't get emotional. I've sat through 2, maybe 3 big bear markets now, and I'd be lying if I'd said that I wasn't a little bit emotional about these current market conditions, but just chatting to other people about it really helps. It happens, bear markets do happen, and we've been talking about this for weeks, and now it's here. So it's time to stick to our plans. No worries, mate. So you put a buy order in for 1 cent, 10 cents, 60 cents or something like that on Luna. Yeah, that's one piece of advice for people looking at buying into Luna. I definitely wouldn't be buying, using money that you're not happy to lose. It's a very, very, very high risk play at the moment. There's a lot of stuff around that Luna project. A lot of people on Twitter, especially respected people in the crypto space, advising against buying into Luna. There is the potential of a high return if it does shoot up to whatever it was, $120 or something, but I'm steering clear unless we do see some good news and some good roadmaps and plans coming out for the recovery project for Luna. It's unfortunate to all the Luna holders out there that I won't say didn't manage their risk, but just weren't around to manage in case it did drop like it has. You'd be very, very underwater. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are underwater and very scared. So we just have to appreciate that some of us aren't like that. And it's another cruel learning curve from being in this trading market. Yeah, it's a tiny percent. Yeah, that's fine. If you're happy to do that, then go for it. But yeah, I'm interested to see what, I think it's Du Kwong, the CEO of Luna. I'm interested to see what he comes out and says about their roadmap to recovery. whether they just shut the whole project down or move to a new one, I don't know. But yeah, I'm very interested to see what they say, and if it is a good roadmap and they do have investors in there to bail them out, then yeah, you could see some really good returns on Luna. But at the time being, you know, this capitulation event, and we do call it a capitulation event because it is run by fear and huge selling. This is just the start, I think. You know, it's been, what, 7 days, 6 days or something of constant selling. That's not a long time at all. In the grand scheme of things, it's not long at all. This is just the beginning, I believe. It's just the beginning. You know, we've just tested this $30,000 mark. Where we've seen in the past, you know, back here, we tested $30,000 and it stayed there from 17th of May until 20th of July, you know, a couple of months. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do just hover around this mark, if we do continue bouncing, we do see some good institutional money come in and start buying the dips, and we bounce along this support level before moving up, which would be great. But yeah, I think we're in this for the long term. I think this bear market could last a little while. But yeah, fingers crossed we do see some more bullish momentum come back in. But yeah, if I was to be honest, I would be sticking to those plans, buying those projects that you're happy to buy into, those solid projects that you've been watching for a while. Now they're on special, buy into those if you like, and yeah, let's ride this out together. Yeah, so if you are looking to, you know, if you're new to crypto, then you've come at a really bad time, if I'm honest. It's not always like this, but if you are new to crypto and you'd like to learn more about crypto and trading, then feel free to head over to our website, TRADERCOBB.com. We do have a free course and a paid course that you can check out if you like. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. If you do have any other questions, feel free to reach out to myself or Lou on Slack, and we'll be happy to help you out. I know it's a bit of a tough time at the moment, especially for, you know, people that haven't sat through a bear market or a capitulation event like this. It can be really tough, but it's just important to speak to people, get other people's opinions, and just stay calm and let's execute. Thanks, guys. I'll chat to you soon. Have a great day.